Good morning. I'm on a business trip this week at the International Building Fair in Guangzhou, and we'll squeeze in time in between appointments to do the filming and the sourcing and the research for all these videos. This Guangzhou show is the biggest in Asia for the construction and building industry, and we're at the Canton Fair Complex. Over 8,000 buyers from across the world are here, from over 100 countries. These visitors are here to buy direct from the Chinese companies, most of whom in turn have large manufacturing facilities nearby here in Guangdong province. So it's also convenient for visitors here to visit the factories personally. This is yet another feature of China's industrial clustering policy. Companies are deliberately grouped together by industry to share the same labor pools, raw material supply chains, and logistics systems, inbound and for export. So thousands of foreign visitors flew in to attend, and tens of thousands more companies are sending their China-based sourcing agents to this fair. This is Alexander. He's from Brazil and lives in Zhongshan, which is about 90 minutes that way. So that puts him really close by all the factories that build half the furniture in the world in Foshan, and 80% of the world's consumer electronics in Shenzhen. He also knows our channel and told us that all the business his group does is in local currencies only. Companies in Brazil deal in real, companies here in Chinese renminbi. So there's no US banks, no US dollars. Millions of dollars a month going through financial networks and systems that did not exist 3 years ago. This is Kamal. He's back and forth between California and Foshan, and his team works with major developers in the United States and in India. They build hotels, hospitals, restaurants, even amusement parks, turnkey for the biggest hospitality brands in the world. They source everything from China, including the furniture and the signage, put them into containers, and ship them to local construction crews. And that's why that 8,000 number is misleading. Just in the cases of Alex and Kamal, those are just two guys, but they represent dozens of companies buying hundreds of millions of dollars in product every year. Their careers exist because companies in their home countries need people here on the ground who do the sourcing and quality control and who live and work here in China full time. They exist in the case of this particular trade fair because when construction companies and property developers across the world grow to a certain size, they make a lot more money by sourcing their materials directly from the factories who are here. Let's use 3 examples of typical small to medium-sized businesses in the United States. We'll go to Google and use their AI to help us. Example 1. A company in Arkansas installs air conditioning units. Average home size is 1,800 square feet, and they install 4 systems a week. Right now, they're buying the units from local suppliers or a box store, and they want an estimate on what the cost savings there may be to buy directly from China, and whether they should consider a change to their supply chain. Answer: yes, probably. Estimated net savings are over $100,000 per year and over $500 per installation. The company is doing 200 units per year, and buying directly from Chinese manufacturers means big savings at the manufacturer level. But of course, now the company is paying for the transportation and tariffs that right now are paid by their wholesalers. There are some other considerations. Buying their AC units by container allows for 11 weeks of inventory for each shipping container, so they'll need warehouse space available for that. And there are documents they will need from the Chinese factory, so they'll be approved for the Arkansas market. I added this question here to the AI agent because it comes up a lot and it'll save you time. I shared it on screen and it breaks out the same every single time we run the numbers. Most construction companies have their own trucks and drivers, and they ask us if they can save money by picking up their containers at the port when they come off the ship. This company has its own trucks. Should they drive to Houston themselves and pick up their shipment? Answer: on paper, you might save some money. In the real world, you will not. We're coming back to this later. Scenario 2, a company in Kansas City builds decks and patios. They use composite decking materials, do about 170 jobs a year, and a third of those include jacuzzis. The projects involving spas, they price on a cost-plus basis. Average base project of $20,000 with a materials cost average of $6,000. Should they consider sourcing these materials from China? Yes or no? The answer here is unequivocal, and they need to be here in Guangzhou right now. At those business volumes, they'll put over $400,000 a year directly to their bottom line by sourcing their decking materials and spas from the factories here. Those cost savings can go to profits by maintaining present sales volumes and pricing to their customers, or they can serve as a key competitive advantage in competing for other work in the Kansas City market by lowering their price. I asked the same question as before. This company has their own trucks. Should they go to the Port of Long Beach to pick up their containers? The answer to that one is a hard no, but they should look carefully into sending their trucks to the intermodal transportation yard to pick up there. Using their company trucks for that leg, back and forth to the railroad yards, might save over $1,000 a month and $500 to $800 per container. That assumes the drivers and trucks aren't otherwise committed doing something else more valuable, but we have an idea of what that number is now. That's a good rule for inland transportation logistics. You never want to use your own trucks to go to an ocean port pickup. Don't even think about getting into the port of LA or Newark or Houston. But if there is an intermodal shipment by rail, and if your trucks are compliant, then the math changes completely. Scenario 3, this is a builder of apartments and hotels in Florida. Next year they will build 800 1- and 2-bedroom units in 10 locations and want to know about direct sourcing of cabinets, flooring materials, and windows. So we have another example of a company that is not a huge developer, building thousands of homes. They're also not too small and doing one-off builds. They have a standard bill of materials across most of their business. Answer: overall sourcing from China will result in cost savings of $4,000 to $8,000 per unit. And at 800 units, that is around $500,000 in cost savings. So it is a firm yes on the cabinetry and flooring materials, savings of 40 to 50% there by buying direct from China. On the windows, they will realize a savings of 30 to 40%, but proceed with extreme caution. Florida has some of the toughest building codes in the country, and the windows and doors and the roofs need to survive major hurricanes. Guangzhou is in South China, and hurricanes are called typhoons here, and these factories build millions of windows a year for climates that are just like Florida's. The trick is to work with factories here who have the documentation, in English in this case, that can be shown to local building inspectors. So in the case of this company, they should be looking at the flooring and cabinet suppliers and talking very closely with the factories here who have export experience to South Florida. We'd like to emphasize a few important points here. Building contractors and home builders already know the local building codes and regulations that need to be followed to get projects approved by inspectors. And the factories here in Guangdong have deep experience building for developers across the world and in compliance with all those building codes. They are already supplying materials to your market right now. These are factories your company is already buying from, but via middlemen, and the big box stores. And the companies that are here, buying direct, face the same math problems we just ran earlier. The economics of supply chain management argue hard against using local distributors for products that your business buys and consumes in bulk. For what we mean, consider these charges from Amazon for their stores. Amazon runs a program called Fulfillment by Amazon, or FBA. It's an end-to-end system of logistics and delivery, order fulfillment, warehousing. Amazon has one of the most efficient inventory management systems in the world, and millions of sellers are on their FBA platform who use Amazon to handle their product inventories. This is their fee schedule to do that work for e-commerce companies. And we see very high fees for large and bulky items, high fees again for heavy items. Bulky products take up a lot of shelf space, which is an opportunity cost problem, and Amazon charges their stores for that, which are passed along again to the end buyer. Heavy products need special equipment to move them off of one truck, then onto a shelf, then onto another truck to ship to the final customer. And the end buyer pays for all that too. Lowe's and Home Depot have those same problems, and so do specialty distributors. They unload a container, break open the pallets, store the products in their warehouse, wait for orders to come in, then load them onto trucks, either theirs or yours, and pass along the cost for all that, plus a high markup. That is where all those savings come from when just sourcing these materials yourself. Your shipping costs are going higher as a line item. You're paying to send them from China instead of from down the street. But your product costs overall drop by between 30 and 50%, including the shipping. This show is for the building trades and for companies across the world who source directly from the factories here in China, who manufacture construction materials and supplies. But those same inventory management and supply chain economics that inform home builders and property developers in their businesses are also applied by companies in other industries, and explains why those executives head to other trade shows here in China and arrange for direct sourcing and shipping. That leads to a final point, which is that some of the most important people you will meet and work with are shipping agents. When your company moves to sourcing products directly from China, you're probably making these decisions for the first time. And it's a steep learning curve to buy customs bonds, for example, or to know whether CIF or DDP shipping terms are the most appropriate for your company and why. Answering those questions intelligently involves a deep understanding of shipping costs and customs procedures and tariff schedules, and few companies have those resources in-house to know the answers. There are teams of people at every single one of these shows and in every single industrial zone in China who handle all that business for dozens of factories and for thousands of foreign companies that buy from them. I used an example earlier of how sending your own company trucks to the port of entry to pick up your own containers is a lousy idea, 100 times out of 100. I feel the same way about this, especially in the beginning of that process for your company. Use the people here in China to figure out the best way to get your materials to you and prepare all the documentation for the government agencies between here and there. You will not save money or time doing that yourself until several inventory turns in, at least. By buying direct, your cost savings are hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, if the customs paperwork is right at the port of entry, and if the logistics run smoothly from the back door of the factory here to the front door of your company. Let these guys here focus on those things, and your guys there can focus on building decks and apartments. This is Zhongshan. Be good.